Good day, everyone, and a very warm welcome. I'm Nicola Probyn, co-founder and director of the Africa Scotland Business Network. Today, we're absolutely delighted to welcome Ntokozo Nzima, who is partner in the corporate and merger acquisition team at Bowmans Law.
Thanks for having me, Nicola. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So today, Ntokozo is going to be talking around some of the tips and information that foreign companies might be looking for when they're looking at South Africa as an opportunity. This is part of a series that Bowmans have done around in-country guides for foreign companies looking for opportunities in Africa, and this covers 6 countries. Today, the focus will be on South Africa, but before we start on that, Ntokozo, maybe you could just tell us from your perspective, from a Bowmans perspective, why it's important to be part of networks, independent business networks, such as ASBN.
So I think for us, it's actually quite important that we provide support to business, local and foreign, who are looking to potentially enter the South African and broader African landscape markets, etc. And I think as a law firm, we have such an important role to play in that. We have information, we can provide support and guidance that can make it easier for businesses to enter into a specific market, such as the South African market.
Thank you so much. And Bowmans have been such amazing supporters of the network. In fact, we had our launch event at Bowmans offices in Cape Town in November 2019. So we really value the relationship. So to go into the South African insights, what are some of the things that foreign companies should be aware of in terms of opportunities for them?
Sure. So I think, being an emerging market, there are so many opportunities for foreign businesses to potentially play a role in the development of some of the sectors in South Africa to bring them in line with international development, And 3 such key areas, I think, are in relation to fintech, renewables, and the energy space more generally, as well as health and access to healthcare. I mean, when you think about fintech, there are a number of opportunities for non-banks in the payments space, for example, and also more generally, we're expecting that there will be a shift in the near future in relation to how fintech is largely regulated within South Africa. So that's an exciting development to look out for. I think with the global interest in sustainability, renewables, alternative sources of energy and clean energy generally, there's definitely an opportunity for further development in South Africa, and foreign business can play a key role and part in bringing that forward, And of course, in relation to health, access to healthcare, I think that the COVID pandemic has really highlighted and accelerated really the spotlight on healthcare and access to healthcare more generally, of course, beyond South Africa. But I think in South Africa specifically, there is scope for development and a role that foreign business can play in that.
Absolutely, thank you. Now, maybe you could just give us an idea of what are some of the things that foreign companies need to be aware of that they might not consider before they enter the South African market?
Sure. I think some things that foreign businesses or foreign companies may not necessarily be familiar with when it comes to the South African landscape and participating, investing, and etc., may include, the exchange control framework that we have in South Africa, which sets out, processes, approvals, etc., that may be required for non-resident companies and investors to invest in South Africa and potentially export capital out of South Africa. So that's more of a procedural aspect, and that just needs to be taken into account when entering into the South African market. And also the ASBN, which is the broad-based Black economic empowerment policy in South Africa, which is especially relevant if one intends to do business with government, or if you will be participating in a sector that is regulated, requires licensing, authorizations, permits, and the like. So that becomes quite a key consideration. And thirdly, I would say, something for foreign companies to look out for while you're in the exploratory phase and, maybe putting your toes in the water to test out the space and see if there's potential and capacity for you to participate in this market, just to potentially keep in mind that, there are certain activities which, if you engage in them, you may potentially be required to register as an external company in South Africa, potentially before you're ready to actually formalize your investment and participation in the market.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. So that's just a very short insight into what the guide goes into. As
Absolutely.
I said, we very kindly put together this guide for foreign companies. The link to download the guide is in the chat box below. So please click on it. And by all means, you know, Bowmans, as I said, are fantastic members of the network. If you are another member, please do reach out to them and connect if you would like further information. We can share the direct details of the team there, and just let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you. Anytime. Thank you. Thank you, Nicola. This has been lovely. And it's such a pleasure to be part of the Africa Scotland Business Network. And we love the work that you guys do, and onwards and upwards.
Thank you so much.